So the mission Shellshock dropped the other week, and it's alright for real. Don't get me wrong, I like the DLC a lot, and the two new characters are a big breath of fresh air, but I got more complaints than good things to say, but I'm gonna get the good out now before the bad. So first up, Usagi and Karai are the best things about this expansion, hands down. They got unique moves and unique properties to those moves that make them a blast to play, especially through the arcade and the story mode. Usagi with his ground to air combos and air to air combos leave a lot of room for experimentation, which is part of my problem with the base game, because the enemies don't have enough health to fully get some real good combos in. I mean, you can kind of knock around their dead bodies, but it's not the same. And the custom mode ain't really that much of a solution, but whatever. Now, Karai is a whole different beast. I mean, she's playing an entirely different game than the other characters. I mean, look, they put a lot of love into this cast, but god damn, Karai got 2 kisses on her forehead instead of 1 from grandma, if you know what I mean. Her animations, speed, her busted ass supers, and her fucking electrical install barrier that makes her taunt faster. I don't even know why she has that, but like all of that stuff combined make her feel like you have to play her if you want to win. Obviously that's not the case, but I mean, if you're gonna play on the harder difficulties, her Usagi is probably the best choice, to be honest. Now you might be wondering, you praising all these characters, why you not praising the new roguelike mode? And yeah, so about that new roguelike mode, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it feel kind of half-baked to me, to be honest. Comparing it to the roguelike mode of Streets of Rage 4, it ain't the same at all. And it's fair to compare both of those because they both were developed by the same folks, so I can look at one and compare the apples to the orange. Yeah, comparing them both though, Turtles just pales in comparison. The enemies, the enemy types, the bosses, and the perks just kind of flat out suck to me. I didn't feel excited to keep playing and grinding in the mode and leveling up. The perks in this mode were very limited and didn't really include that much variety. There wasn't really a reason to go back and try a new build or anything like that. Some of the perks kind of just feel like remixed versions of the Streets of Rage 4 perks, except for the one that allows you to teleport when you taunt. That one was really good, unless you teleported off the map, which could kind of happen. Now, one of the big things they were promoting for this game was the ability to mutate into 1 of 3 characters, which is Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady. Now, I was excited for this because I thought that maybe we could transform to more of the bosses. Maybe they would have cute little quirks that would make them interesting to use. You know, you can kind of mix and match them. No. Bebop and Rocksteady both have a singular attack that you can kind of spam over and over. They have a charged attack and then a super that does a lot of AoE damage. Very lackluster, very simple, very disappointing. I really expected more. There was only Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder, none of the other bosses, which really blew my mind because if you were going to nerf the move sets and have them be very simple, why don't we have more options to play as other characters? I mean, I would have been okay with just these 3 if they would have had like fully fleshed out movesets. Now Shredder's a bit different now. He has a ground and air attack that are unique and they can be spammed to great effect, wiping out a whole bunch of enemies. But his super is garbage. It's a counter, and in most action fighting games, if you whiff the counter, you're just standing there looking fucking stupid. And that's the case here. I don't know why he has this. I think it's dumb. Even if somebody hits you and you do the move, it's not really that satisfying. It's not really worth it. You could just use his spammy ass ground and air moves to clear everybody out. So there are 4 zones in this DLC and about 3 to 4 arenas in each zone. And they're fine. They're literally just fine. They aren't bad levels. Each zone has a plethora of background characters from the comics. I personally did not know any of them because I did not watch or read any of the old content, but that's okay. You know, I think it's really nice to see these characters. I'm like, I don't know this guy, but if I did, I'd be excited. That's how I felt every time I seen him. And you know, once you beat the shit out of everybody in the level, they kind of like cheer and dance with you, you know, kind of hype you up. So I think that's kind of cool. Oh, and the music is great, as always. What's his name? T. Lopez. Not sure how you pronounce his last name, but he did the soundtrack. The guy's really good. I think he's probably like, I don't know. He's the GOAT. It's whatever. He did fine. But the final boss, spoiler alert, of this DLC is just Super Shredder and a different palette, which is funny because we get new palettes too. But it's just Super Shredder again, and he's doing his little Super Shredder shit. And I don't understand why. I mean, listen, this DLC, I paid $7 for it because it was on a PlayStation Plus little sale. It was under $10, which is fine. But I would have easily paid $20 to have a better, beefier DLC. I don't understand why we couldn't have gotten a little bit of a narrative. Not an entire thing with cutscenes and voice acting. It could have just been text, but it could have been a new narrative with one of the other enemies, maybe like a Krang or something. I don't fucking know, man. But it didn't have to just be Super Shredder again. It just didn't feel, it was just half-baked. It really was. And I don't understand why y'all, this game made a lot of money. It made a lot of money. So I do not understand why we couldn't have got a bigger, better DLC. Don't worry, the hell ride's almost over. I'm almost done bitching and complaining. So the last thing that I have to complain about, I'm sorry. When I first seen Usagi and Karai, I said, my God, please buff the base cast so we can kind of like keep them relative. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're really strong right now. They're great. They're complete packages, but I was hoping that maybe they would get like a new move, properties on their existing moves, just so it's not the Usagi and Karai show. And if you watch my previous video, you know I was already worried about this. So when the DLC came out, guess what? It's the Usagi and Karai show. Yes, you can play the other characters. No, it's not that much of a difference, but Karai and Usagi is just it's just different. It's just different. Okay, nobody else got air combos like Usagi, and Karai, her animations and her supers is literally just better. Like it's just better. Her supers are just better than everybody else's. So it's really hard for me to want to play the base cast when I got these two powerhouses right here. And they did make some changes to like some people's like supers a little bit and some of the taunts and shit, but nothing great, nothing grand. I mean, like I said, they are perfect the way they are, but it can be perfect plus. You know what I'm saying? They could have added in a little extra little twinkle to it. You know what I mean? Just added a little bit more. But listen, listen, this video is long enough as it is. If you think I'm asking it too much, you think I expected too much, let me know in the comments. Hey, please. Half of me is saying these complaints are valid. Other half is like, brother, chill the fuck out. It's a kid's game. But the thing is, I'm being gaslit by the developers because you put in Usagi and Karai. These motherfuckers are not playing a kid's game. They playing Streets of Rage. So yeah, I'm expecting whatever. Overall, this is a fine DLC to a great game with a great price point to boot. I paid $7 for it. I think the real price is like $10 or under $10. The characters and palette swaps are worth it by themselves, and the roguelike mode is very good if you want to try something new. So I say if you love the base game, definitely pick this up. I guess I'll give it a rating. I have to rate the Dimension Shellshock portion of Shredder's Revenge. I give it a 6 out of 10. If you think that's too low, let me know. We can talk about it in the comments. But if you like this review, please comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos. Peace!